I picked a weird time to come back to YouTube. Recently, a lot of us little tubers got an email from YouTube themselves stating that there's been an update to the minimum requirements in the partner program, and as of the end of February, lots of us are actually losing our partner status. Now, I had recently removed a lot of my videos from YouTube as part of my rebranding. I did this the day before receiving this email. When I read the email, I thought that maybe YouTube was saying I no longer have enough content to be considered a partner, but it turns out it's no longer just the minimum amount of views, but also a minimum amount of subscribers. And I can kind of understand where they're coming from on this, because when I started YouTube in 2006 and made the partner program in 2008, things were very different. For one, YouTube's humble beginnings meant that they were just surprised anybody was using the website, and the fact that they were using it to post and host a lot of their creative endeavors, they were excited and they wanted to promote any of the awesome stuff that they could by putting it all on the front page. And so YouTube had a small group of people that was constantly watching the new stuff being posted so that they could edit the front page to incorporate some of the new awesome things people were sharing on their website at the time. And because it was such a small group of people on YouTube at the time, it was a lot easier to get noticed back then. In 2008, it was pretty decently hard to get into the partner program for the time of YouTube, and many people recognized that just because you made the partner program didn't necessarily guarantee you any kind of money, because you still had to fit guidelines, not just for YouTube's website themselves as they were trying to become more and more family friendly, but also advertiser friendly. And by advertiser friendly, I mean the majority of advertisers. There's for sure some advertisers that don't necessarily care what they're branded next to or are looking for a different set of requirements, but YouTube is trying to more generalize everything on their website to all kind of be both family friendly and advertiser friendly, and that's just a good business plan. You're trying to include as many people as possible by excluding the least amount of people as possible. It's just good business. Recently, it seems that YouTube's come across part of a problem, and that problem seems to be that it's gotten so big they can't even fathom the number of people that would have to sit there and watch every single video that was uploaded. There's just so much content constantly being uploaded to the website that there's no way any number of people could actually keep up. So they do what we would all have done and turn to computers to algorithmically check through video content to make sure it's family friendly, to make sure it's advertiser friendly, it fits in a certain amount of guidelines, that sort of thing. So things will get demoted for various reasons, things will get knocked off of the advertisers list for various reasons. They've done a pretty good job so far with that algorithm. It still needs tweaking, mind you. It's hard for a computer to understand all of the human spectrum in order to understand what it's looking at completely, but they do a better job every time they update it. The problem became recently that somewhere is a way to go around that system and not only upload things that aren't at all family friendly, but somehow the non-family friendly things are making it to the most viewed and the trending pages on YouTube, which is to say YouTube is unknowingly actually promoting things that go against their own personal branding. That itself is a problem. There's so much content for them to actually go through that they miss out on some of those things. So because YouTube is so big that it's counting on algorithms, they kind of miss the blaringly obvious, which is why I can understand the need to actually crack down somehow. So they're cracking down by setting a new set of guidelines for people who are possible partners. I knew in my rebranding and taking most of my videos down and relaunching my website, that sort of thing, that I was basically starting over. But I did not actually realize just how far starting over I was going to be until I got said email. And I totally agree with said email. I do think there needs to be higher qualifications for those who are going to be YouTube's pick, per se, of the people who are making the most money via advertising advertisers, the people who are the most family friendly, the people who are making the best content, that sort of thing. I do think there needs to be a higher standard for what makes the cut in that department. And YouTube is doing their best business practice by putting that in place. I can see that this is hurting all of the little tubers. And I say that because the standards are now so high that all of the little tubers are gonna lose their spot and have to start over again. And it's not necessarily because they haven't been family friendly, and it's not necessarily because they haven't been advertiser friendly or posting anything against whatever regulations. It's not necessarily anything that they have done to this point. It's just a matter of YouTube doing business. And that is what they have become now. They are now a business. They're no longer a little family of people. I say family because I'm sure there was like 6 of them in a single office with probably no walls between them, and it probably felt like family. It's now become bigger than they can even handle. Hence, we have all of the potential problems we've been dealing with. You know, everybody comes up with the same kind of concept of, you know, maybe anybody else can start a video platform to create competition, to try to create a better atmosphere. And the answer is still going to be, at some point, that platform is going to be equally big and hard to deal with like YouTube is. You can do your best with it and you can give it a shot if you want to, but ultimately it's going to be a matter of trying to get YouTube to work best for what YouTube has become. And I have no answers for that. I don't know what the best practice is, and I don't know what the best answers are, and I don't know what the best thing to do from now is. I do believe that YouTube is taking the best possible course of action in at least raising the standard of what can possibly be YouTube's pick for things that they end up promoting on trending, on the most subscribed, on partners, and I don't know where it's going from here. I do think that this is a really good start. I think raising the standards of what becomes partnered and what becomes monetizable and that sort of thing, I do think that's a great start. What if they're trying to bring back a list of things that they can choose to promote by trying to eliminate the things that are completely off-brand? Or maybe just raising the standards will make it easier to sort through all of the applications that they were getting for the partner program. Maybe there was too many applications all at the same time and they let some go through that maybe shouldn't have. I do think that's what it is. I think YouTube became so big that it was hard for them to catch even the blaringly obvious because they become entirely dependent upon computers to do most of that work for them. And I think that raising the standards of what becomes a partner will help eliminate a lot of the craziness. I don't think this is gonna hurt any of the big YouTubers, and I don't think that this is going to hurt any of the people that have already turned to Patreon, because ultimately, as lovely as it would be to have a YouTube job, it's not something anybody actually counts on happening at this point, because YouTube isn't actually promoting anybody anymore. It's hard to know how we're supposed to get ourselves out there. So if you're not doing it for fun because you enjoy doing it, then there really is no reason to do it. And that is why I'm okay with probably losing my partner status at the end of February with a lot of other people. So I'm probably never going to make it back in the partner program, but I love making videos and I'm going to continue making videos for various reasons that are all pretty much entirely because I want to. I like having something to look back on, which is why I didn't delete any of my old videos. They're just privated, so I can still look back on them. But I also just miss you guys, and I also like having an excuse to play video games while chatting with some of you. I will continue. Nothing's gonna hold me down. Nothing's gonna stop us now. So to all of the other little tubers who may or may not be losing your partnership status, if you weren't doing it because you love it, because you want to, and because it brings you joy, it might not have been the platform for you anyway. Alright guys, that's all for this week. Be sure to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you're new and you want more videos just like this one, comment below your thoughts. I love to hear back from you guys, and check the description box for links to my gaming channel, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook page. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. I'm gonna grab something to drink and then I'm actually back.